YouTube, it's AJ here with AJ Takes the Streets, and today I'm giving you a quick review, a 2,500 mile review on my Ford Bronco Badlands 4-door V6 non-squatch. For transparency, this is beautiful. Look at that screen. Beautiful animation. Start this up. 2353.8. I'm bringing you this video while I give the Bronco a wash. That'll make it a little bit different. One of my first thoughts when I got the Ford Bronco was, this is a real fun vehicle to drive. I ordered this Bronco with the 2.7 liter V6. I did that purposely. The first Bronco that I've drove at all was the 2.3, and it was on a lift, 4-inch lift, bigger tires, and that thing was struggling, and it's something I didn't want to have to deal with. Coming from a V8 truck and before then 2 V6 vehicles, I didn't want to have a lack in power. Of course, I don't expect this to be a race car at all, but you want to have some pep. Naturally aspirated vehicles I love, but for the Bronco, the 2.7 liter is absolutely amazing. I love it. I have no gripes about it. Sure, there's some turbo lag, but you know what? For a Bronco, for an off-road focused SUV vehicle that I could throw the top back all the way if I want, it's worth it. Now, yes, I'm hand washing this. I don't have this vehicle ceramic coated or anything of that sort. I'm real careful while I do wash this vehicle and just try to wash along the body lines. I don't want any swirl marks. It's an investment. You got to take care of it, regardless of if you got it for 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, 250,000. Take care of it. With that being said, it is an off-road vehicle. You want to throw it through the mud. You want to go through dirt roads. It's going to get dirty. I can't get away from dirt sticking onto this vehicle. It just is what it is. What's cool about the Bronco is the space. I'm a dog owner. I have 2 golden retrievers, and this vehicle is perfect for us. Put the seats down and you have quite a bit of space. I actually run a setup that's reversed to this, so I have the small side down and the 60 fold up. Sit on the left side. I have twins, a boy and a girl. She likes to sit there. Sometimes my boy does too, but he likes to come out here, look out the window, greet people while you're driving, say hi. If you're looking for space, if you're looking for a family vehicle, maybe you have 1, 2 kids and maybe a dog, this is fine. And if you're looking for an adventure vehicle, this is fine also, because if you put both seats down, you have a lot of space back here. You can go for a cross-country road trip, weekend trip. If you have the tow and hitch package, you can go ahead and have a little trailer. It's cool. I love it. What I find important with a vehicle when I buy them is that it's practical in some sense, and it's not limited in what it can do. So even when I had my sports car, I had an Audi S5, but it was a hatchback. So it was more practical. I had more space than your normal sedan does in the vehicle. And me being a dog owner, it's important. But from the outside, whether you get the base all the way up into the Raptor, everything is pretty much the same. Let me take the Raptor out of that. Everything's pretty much the same through the first edition. The real big difference is really just your wheels, your actually body painted door handles and body painted mirror caps. My trim is the Badlands trim, so I have the black that matches fender flares, right? Oh, fender flares are also what are color matched in the Outer Banks and 2 other trims. From the outside, I love the Bronco. I have nothing to really gripe about. I think they should all come standard with some kind of a lift, like the Badlands Wild Track do. But, you know, if you're not going off-roading, it's a perfectly fine street SUV. There's nothing to complain about on my end. Now, the tires, the wheels and tires on all the models vary. Badlands standard comes with 17-inch aluminum wheels and 33-inch all-terrain or mud-terrain tires. Badlands stock, it does come with pretty much the Sasquatch suspension. The shocks are a different brand. The lift is pretty much the same. On the Badlands, it's 1.5 inches. On Sasquatch, it's a 2-inch lift. That's why I got the Badlands. I'm not saying I wouldn't want a Sasquatch, but I don't need it. I don't need 35s. I don't plan on getting bigger wheels. And if I do, the 1.5 inch lift is perfectly fine for me. Also, I have dogs, so I'm not trying to have them jump up and down and, you know, deal with back issues. Let's get into it. And when it comes to the design, one thing that I do love about my Ford Bronco is the grille. The Badlands comes with the carbonized gray grille. The Wildtrak comes with the black grille. Outer Banks and Black Diamond have kind of your classic grille. So they all have a different grille. That's the cool thing about the Broncos, and that's one thing I love. If you're in the market for a Bronco, you can really find something to be your baseline or kind of like your foundation. And then from there, you could pretty much modify it to your choosing, to your liking, to whatever you want. It's just giving you options. If you're into customizing vehicles, the Bronco should be one of the vehicles on your list if you're looking at SUVs. Speaking of customization, if you're really into customizing your vehicle, your best bet is probably just to get the base Bronco, choose the engine you want, whether you want the i4 or whether you want the 4-cylinder or the V6 twin turbo. And if you want the Sasquatch package, just add that and just stick with a base and then pretty much customize it to whatever you want it to be. Now, if you're someone more like me, where I do love modifying my vehicle, but I'm not looking to dump $30,000 into it with total modifications, a big lift, then maybe you want to go towards one of the mid trims, and those all come with some type of lift. The Badlands comes with a 1.5 inch lift. The Wildtrak comes with your Sasquatch, and the first edition comes with your Sasquatch. But if you're gonna trick it out with different wheels, you're gonna do a bunch of light modifications, start base, maybe get the modular bumper. There's aftermarket bumpers that a lot of people are sticking onto their Broncos, and just stick with the base. But it's your choice. There's a lot of stuff on the inside, and with that, let's go ahead and check out the inside. Overall, the look of the Bronco is kind of what made me gravitate towards it. It has like this old school look with the front and the grille. It gives you kind of nostalgia. I would take an old school Bronco any day. Them things are awesome. Things are fire. And for me, it's the nostalgia that comes into it and the look of the vehicle. Inside of the Bronco, it's awesome. One, I didn't really want the big screen. It could be a 4-inch screen, 8-inch screen, as long as it has Apple Play and functionality of a map. I'm perfectly fine. But the screen is just kind of overkill, but there's really no way around it, right? The screen's tied into certain packages and certain trim levels, and I wanted the Badlands. The audio in the vehicle is, it's okay. I have the standard six speaker system. So it has 2 speakers on the dash, 2 speakers, 1 in each kick panel. In that kick panel, there's 1 and then 1 on the driver's side. But on the back, you have 2 speakers on a roll bar. You see 1 right there, and then there's 1 right there. And that's it. Out the factory, it's not the best. You definitely will probably find yourself upgrading the system. I'm going to be doing it sometime in the near future. It's not a priority. Even with the B&O system, I heard they're not the greatest either. So that's one investment you're going to be making with the Bronco if you get it. So remember that. Don't go overkill on the B&O system. If you're not an audiophile, you'll be fine with the B&O system. But if you're more so audiophile, you love your bass, you love kind of controlling your tunes and all that sort, you're going to find yourself upgrading the system. One of the reasons I got the Bronco, and one of the reasons I actually got the soft top, and I thought about it hard, is the ability to have a convertible. So it's really cool how all you have to do is unlock the inside, pop this bad boy back, and then we'll come back in here and check that out. We're in a convertible. It's that easy. It doesn't take more than, I did in the video, 30 seconds, 1 minute. If you want to get real technical, you can go ahead and strap the straps in the back. But check this out. It's an open air experience. Next level. And there's one little thing that you could do is you could pop it all the way back and you have a full open air experience. I have a video on that. Check it right here. As I mentioned, this vehicle was made to modify straight out the factory. You have accessory ready ports everywhere. So here's one up there, without needing to rewire anything. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of getting a Bronco. 2,300 miles in, I can say that I do appreciate the Bronco. It was a good purchase, solid purchase. If you're used to sports cars and you go to a Bronco, it's gonna take some time and adjustment, just like any other SUV or truck. There's pros and cons. You lose some stuff that you're used to and that you valued, and then you also gain new things. So, for example, the roof, fully blown out roof. So I think this is a solid option for anyone who's adventurous. The Bronco is a go-to vehicle for you. I don't have any major gripes or pains at the moment. 2,400 miles in, I have not taken this thing off-roading, as in the sense of, you know, speeding through sand dunes or anything like that. I've been through some dirt roads, took it through a couple of like smaller hills and things of that sort, and it did perfectly fine. It was fun. If you're outdoorsy, if you like having an open top, if you're someone who drives with the windows down, I do myself, doesn't matter what vehicle I have, I always have the windows down, usually 90% of the time if it's not raining. If you're that type of individual, having a drop top that you can put back on at any moment, drop back at any moment, put it all the way back at any moment, I think you should go for it. Now there is a hard top option for the Bronco. That is not as easy, but it's still simple. With the hard top, you have, I believe it's 3 pieces or 4 pieces, and the front you can at least take off and store it in the back. So when it comes to soft top or hard top, that's kind of what you got to think of. The road noise, for me, is not an issue. Again, I drive 90% of the time with my windows down, so I'm used to it. Now, when I do have all the windows up and the top fully sealed, then yeah, there's road noise. Maybe there's occasionally a day or two where I'm like, man, it's kind of loud. Or if I'm on the phone, road noise on the phone is a different ball game. So keep that in mind. The only thing I'm going to say is, if this is going to be your daily driver, the only vehicle you have, then if you're coming from a sports car, test drive it a few times, make sure you'll be fine with it. Some people are just addicted to speed. I am too. 2.7 liter V6 has enough pep, 330 horsepower, around 400 pounds of torque. I get around traffic if I need to, and the cool thing is I could go into the mud and the dirt if I need to and get out. Mileage, I made a mileage video here a few weeks ago, but as of today, let's check out the mileage at 2,400 miles. And we are at 15.2 miles a gallon. 15.2 miles a gallon. Runtime is 130 hours, 2,400 miles. So gas, you're looking at about $80 for a full tank. That's on premium. So if you're doing regular unleaded, then it's going to be closer to like $65, $70 a tank with today's prices. But on average, I've been spending anywhere to $80 to $200 a month on gas. Again, I work from home, so I don't have to drive to work. So most of my mileage is all personal commute and or business. Solid mileage. You're coming from a sports car or a bigger truck, you're probably going to have better, if not the same mileage. How does it drive? The driving is solid. It's the second most fun vehicle I've had. So the Audi S5 was first, just because it was a sports car and you could do a lot with it. Different dynamic. But outside of that, the Bronco is the most fun car that I've driven. You just do a lot. You go off-roading. It has the pep with the V6. You know, you can pass if you need to, have the drop top down. In itself, the pedals are solid. The steering is solid. It turns slightly like a truck, but it's tighter, so you have more of a sporty feel. And of course, you have your GOAT modes if you're looking to go off-road, if you're in slippery conditions, and in certain models, you have Baja mode or sport. That's pretty cool about the vehicle. No gripe on the driving. The transmission is flawless thus far. It shifts on point, and I've used the manual shifter a few times. It's not a sports car. I can't really give you an unbiased opinion on that, but you have it. You can use it if you're passing on a highway, and of course, if you're off-roading, then you want to have capability to kind of control what gears you are in. Going down the road, it's smooth. It's not like a Jeep. So if you've driven a Jeep Wrangler, it's totally opposite of the Jeep. You don't have to have your hand on the steering wheel, which you should at all times, but just testing it, you know, with the Jeep, it's just all over the place. It wobbles here and there if you get to certain speeds. With the Bronco, no issues. I have no wobbling. At the end of the day, it actually drives like a normal SUV, and I love that about the Ford Bronco. The seats are solid. Probably one of my favorite seats that I've had in a vehicle. My favorite seats that I compare them to are the bucket seats I had in S5. Compared to the truck and the 4Runner that I had, I like the Bronco seats the best. They have the two bolsters on the side. So right here, this one here, and this one here. That kind of keeps you snug and tight. And I ended up going with the marine grade vinyl just because I have dogs and we always have sand in the vehicle. We go swimming, they're wet, and the marine grade vinyl just does a little bit better than cloth. If you do keep the top open or keep your windows down, marine grade vinyl does get just as hot as leather. As of today, at 2,400 miles, I don't have any major issues to really report or to complain about outside of the stereo and audio system. If you have any questions about the Bronco, let me know and I'll do my best to answer that question. If you want to get a 360 tour of the Bronco, check out my video right here, which is a walk around of the Bronco on the inside and the outside. But it's AJ here where AJ Takes Streets, 2,400 miles in on my Ford Bronco Badlands. Till the next video, we out.